Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we are diving into a political shakeup that has the entire progressive movement in South Africa buzzing. Former Mayibuye iAfrika Deputy President Nolubabalo Mcinga has made headlines after publicly declaring her allegiance to the uMkhonto weSizwe party, or MK party, calling it the true revolutionary force capable of delivering South Africa to what she terms total freedom. And let me tell you, this is not your usual political reshuffle. This is a moment charged with symbolism, history, and a fair dose of drama. Now, for those who might not be fully up to speed, Nolubabalo Mcinga has a political pedigree that stretches across some of South Africa's most dynamic youth-driven movements. She cut her teeth in the economic freedom fighters, where she learned what she describes as discipline, fearless leadership, and the art of strategy in a political environment that's notoriously unforgiving. From there, she moved on to Mayibuye iAfrika, a smaller but ambitious movement that aims to give voice to young activists and those disillusioned with mainstream parties. She served as deputy president there, which is no small feat, given that Mayibuye has had its fair share of internal disagreements and leadership tensions. And now, she's shifted her focus to the MK party, led by former President Jacob Zuma. In a statement that was equal parts passion and defiance, Mcinga made it clear that this move isn't about opportunism or personal gain. She framed it as an ideological choice, a commitment to principles that she believes have been diluted or lost in smaller, fragmented political formations. "I am the mother of Mayibuye," she said. "I carried it in labor pains and gave birth to it with purpose. I am the daughter of the EFF, where I learned the art of politics, discipline, and fearless leadership. I now stand with the MK party, a revolutionary force that will carry this country to total freedom." Bold words, indeed. So, why does this matter? Well, Mcinga's departure isn't just a headline-grabbing soundbite. It reflects deeper currents in South African politics, particularly among the younger, activist-driven segments of the population. Analysts suggest that her move signals a growing disillusionment with fragmented left-wing movements, where internal squabbles often overshadow the pursuit of tangible change. In contrast, the MK party has been steadily positioning itself as a home for those who still believe in liberation ideals, but who want to see action, courage, and results from their leadership. And yes, let's be honest, a little charisma doesn't hurt either. The timing of Mcinga's defection is significant. With the 2026 local government elections on the horizon, every shift in allegiance matters, and symbolic endorsements like hers can carry considerable weight. Political analyst Thabiso Mofoke noted that the MK party has managed to attract activists and grassroots supporters who feel alienated by mainstream parties. This isn't just about slogans or speeches, it's about creating a sense of purpose and identity that resonates with people on the ground, in townships and rural communities where political alienation is a real concern. Now, let's pause for a moment and consider the narrative here. Mcinga's journey reads almost like a political coming-of-age story. She acknowledges the formative influence of the EFF, where she learned discipline and fearless leadership, but she frames her current move as part of a larger evolution, a revolution that is not limited to one party or one ideology. She frames the MK party as the torchbearer of total liberation, economic, social, and spiritual. It's a strong framing, and whether you agree with it or not, it's hard to ignore the force of her conviction. Of course, her departure has caused some ripples within Mayibuye iAfrika. Insiders have reportedly been deeply shaken, and while some interpret her move as a personal choice, others see it as a blow to the credibility and cohesion of smaller progressive movements. It raises questions about loyalty, ideology, and the practical realities of building a political home in South Africa today. How do small movements survive when charismatic leaders decide to move on? And how do emerging parties balance internal unity with the need to remain ideologically vibrant? These are not easy questions, and they underline just how fragile political alliances can be, especially among groups that are still defining their identity and strategy. Now, let's add a bit of context. The MK party, under Jacob Zuma, has been steadily gaining traction among voters who feel left out by the major parties. In rural areas and townships, there's a sense that mainstream parties have become distant, bureaucratic, and at times, unresponsive. The MK party's messaging, which blends liberation ideals with promises of tangible action, resonates in these communities. And having someone like Nolubabalo Mcinga publicly endorse this vision provides the party with a kind of credibility that goes beyond rhetoric. It signals to young activists and voters that the party is serious about leadership, discipline, and revolutionary ideals, not just nostalgia. Now, let's not ignore the element of drama here. Politics in South Africa, particularly on the left, is really straightforward. Mcinga's statement was passionate, almost theatrical, and that's part of what makes this story so captivating. She positions herself as a bridge between movements, someone who has learned from the EFF, led in Mayibuye iAfrika, and now brings that experience to the MK party. It's a narrative of evolution, ambition, and, frankly, courage. Whether you see it as strategic or idealistic, it's hard not to appreciate the narrative craftsmanship. So, what does this mean going forward? If Mcinga's shift encourages other young leaders to reconsider their political homes, we could see a broader migration of talent and activism toward parties that project strength, discipline, and a commitment to action. Smaller parties might struggle to retain leadership talent, and the MK party could consolidate its position as a serious contender in the lead-up to 2026. This isn't just about one person moving from one party to another, it's about the signal it sends to the broader political ecosystem. Before we wrap up, let's also consider the humorous side of politics for a moment. Imagine the internal meetings at Mayibuye iAfrika when the news broke, coffee cups dropped, dramatic gasps, and someone inevitably muttering, "Not again." Politics can be serious, but it's also human. And in that human element lies the tension, the drama, and the entertainment that keeps people talking about leadership choices long after the press releases are gone. So, there you have it. Nolubabalo Mcinga's defection to the MK party is more than a headline, it's a reflection of ideological realignment, generational shifts, and the ongoing struggle for political relevance among South Africa's youth and activist movements. It's a story about leadership, courage, and the complicated dance between principle and party loyalty. If you enjoyed this analysis, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. And most importantly, leave a comment down below, we want to hear what you think about Mcinga's move. Is this a smart political choice, or a risky gamble? How do you think it will affect the 2026 local elections? See you next time.